No, you're good.
Because together we are stronger. Individually we are stronger.
Remember, every single phone counts. Hello, my friends. How are you? Welcome to On Point with Rachel Turgerman. I'm so glad you can join us tonight. My friends, when I think about philanthropic contributions, it is amazing to making our world a better place for all. Now, when I think also about Miami-Dade County and its movements to have a world-class healthcare, educational, cultural, and cutting-edge research program, immediately is Anna VeigaMilton. Joining us tonight is, once again, is Anna VeigaMilton. She's amazing. She's the president of the José Milton Foundation, also corporate social responsibility officer for United Property Management. Welcome back, Anna.
Oh, Rachel, it's such a pleasure to be with you again. I think this is our third time.
Yes.
So it's very exciting. And first of all, in case viewers out there don't know, I want to again congratulate you in public for being one of the Claude Pepper honorees. So in the media section, right? For this program and for everything you've done in your career to really elevate Miami and showcase all the great stuff happening here and tell us, tell all your viewers or your friends, everyone that watches about everything going on. So congratulations again.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry right here. Thank you so much. And we want to thank you on behalf of my fiance, Dr. Alan Silver, for taking out this beautiful ad. It's all over social media. And you did it with all your heart. And it looks perfect. No wonder you're an engineer. You know how to structure things and build things and make everything beautiful. So
well, I had a little help, but yes.
But I want to thank you. You have been a blessing in my life. You are a blessing in South Florida. All the residents of South Florida, we owe you so much. And so tonight, I want to make sure that we let all our viewers know about the major initiatives that you have embarked on to improve the quality of life for all of us. We have so much to be grateful to you and your family. God bless you. We love you. And so now I want to start a conversation off with, again, congratulating you and your family, because recently, and Dr. Alan Silver and I went to your inauguration of an amazing park that your family with you designed and built and donated to the city of Miami. And it was off the charts. Thank you for inviting me. There were so many powerhouse influencers there, from the food and the ambiance and the proclamations. It was out of this world. Tell all the viewers about it.
Well, we are very excited. This is like a gift from our family to our community. And this park, it was really a dilapidated, place, overgrown, just ugly. And it was right by the bay, which is, prime area, great area for families, for enjoy. It had so much potential. And we saw this space, which is near one of our residential communities that we just refurbished. And we said, we can't let this eyesore be one of the first things people look at when they're in the water in Biscayne Bay. So we took it upon ourselves to reach out to the city of Miami. We worked with them to get the permitting, to design what we thought would be, beautiful, a place where people can walk and stroll. It's actually become somewhat of a destination. One of my favorite recent posts on Instagram was one of the drivers for the Formula One racing actually took a picture in front of the M. So there's an M like made out of dominoes, and you can see some of the pictures that'll be coming up.
Go ahead and put it back up again, Alan.
Yes, it was beautiful, and he's standing right there in the middle, and it is just so cool. And he was saying about what a beautiful park it was, and how much he enjoyed being there. So there's also a playground to the side. And
right. I want to interrupt you for a second because I want to bring our viewers' eyes to where you're at. Look to the bottom of Anna's chin, my friends, and you're going to see that beautiful M. It's made out of dominoes. And this park, my friends, was named after the family patriarch, the architect, the entrepreneur, José Milton, her father-in-law. Talk to us, how did you guys come up with that, the domino effect with your big M? Talk to us about that.
So my father-in-law was an avid domino player. because of him, we all play dominoes in the family. So much so that my daughter took the game to Atlanta, to Georgia Tech when she was there, and taught all her friends to play dominoes. We play dominoes all the time with family. We teach people how to play. So he loved dominoes. And one of the cool things about those dominoes is that it spells out that, if you look at the numbers, it's 1930, which is the day he was born. So, or it's the birthday and the date that he was born. So it's really cool. It's very meaningful. And not only does the M stand for Milton, but it also stands for Miami. And when you're in the water and you look at Miami, you look at that seawall with all the beautiful buildings. That M is kind of like a welcome sign.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Inviting people to come in, and it's kind of our Statue of Liberty, right? It's bringing people in and inviting them to come, and then it has a little bit of that, culture, element with the dominoes. So we're very proud of it, and we're very happy that we can make this gift, to our community.
This gift and all the other gifts that you've given us. I mean, like I said, we're forever grateful to you, Anna, and your amazing family. Now, for those that missed a couple of interviews before this one, let's recap about your growing up, any teachable moments from your parents, from anybody else that have helped mold your superlative personality, Anna VeigaMilton, right? And also the fact that you were geared towards studying engineering, and you're an engineer, and law. So how did all that come about?
So we're immigrants, right? So I was born in Cuba. And when I was 1 year old, my mom realized that the situation was definitely not going to get any better. So she convinced my dad and a friend of his that happened to be an American citizen, because his dad was American, that they needed to leave Cuba. So we ended up with nothing, right? Because they take everything from you. We ended up in a plane to Madrid. There in Madrid, my mom worked, no, they couldn't find work. So my mom ate out of a soup kitchen, like, a couple times. The little money they scraped together, they bought me food. And then my dad, within a week or two, he found work at the Canary Islands building the first radar system. So they appreciated that he was an engineer. He came from a very accredited, very highly ranked school, which was the University of Havana, and found work right away, lived in the Canary Islands, saw palm trees, which reminded him of Cuba, was by the water, which, is every Cuban's dream. So he was really in a really good position. And then he meets a CIA agent, from a Cuban American CIA agent, who's placed in the Canary Islands for its strategic location, kind of to monitor things. And he spoke to my dad and he said, "Where's your destination? What's your goal?" And my dad said, "Well, to go to the United States, catch up with the rest of our family, and ultimately go to, South Florida, Miami, and maybe back to Cuba one day." So this CIA agent said, America's wide open for engineers. And at that point, within 2 weeks, my dad had a visa for him, my mom, and myself. And we ended up in New York Harbor and into the United States with a big, red carpet treatment. So what that taught me is that with an engineering degree, with a STEM degree, where math is your language, you can go anywhere. You never have to suffer through anything, because you will find work. And not only will you find work, but you will find good work, high-paying work, high-paying jobs, and you will be wanted. People want you. So I always try to tell all the kids, when they're growing up, try, if you have any aptitude for math at all, or you can learn it, please, consider going into an engineering field, a STEM field, because you have a universal language, which is now not only math, but coding.
And I want to ask all our viewers that are watching this, if your children are not watching it, make sure that they do afterwards, because as you know, our show airs live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and on 12 podcasts. So ladies and gentlemen, whether you're watching us at home or at work, make sure that your children also watch this particular interview with Anna VeigaMilton, our philanthropist here in South Florida.
Math, if you can let them know from a young age that math is so important and vital.
And I want to elaborate on that much more later when we talk about the Girl Scouts as well.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about your mother-in-law, Anna.
Yes.
I know that your mother-in-law is very dear to your heart. And on many occasions, I've read many articles that people have published about you. And you bring up your mother-in-law because she is also somebody very important in your life and important in the Milton family. I mean, I know that she took care of patients that had AIDS when everybody was afraid to even get next to people that had AIDS.
Mhm.
Elaborate a little bit about your amazing mother-in-law, because I know you love her very much.
I do, I do. So my mother-in-law was like back in the day, in her day, it was the woman behind the man, right? So even my father-in-law named the foundation the José Milton Foundation, and I won't forgive him because he really should have called it the Nilda and José Milton Foundation. But you know that was just the way he was. And my mother-in-law was really very philanthropic, and I would always see her doing acts of kindness and acts of generosity to everyone around her. And I've always grown up to be into volunteering and philanthropy, even from a very young age, from elementary all the way up through high school and college. But seeing her doing it and being invited to the events that she would put on was really, an amazing, almost like a stamp of approval as to what I wanted to do, in the future. So she's been a very big influence to all of us.
That's
And one thing we
beautiful.
did last year, we had our family meeting for our foundation. So this is a way to bring the third generation. I call it the third generation of Miltons, which is her grandchildren, bringing them together and talking about the things that we do in the foundation, how we invest our funds to make sure we have enough money so that we can give out every year and it lasts forever. So when they take over and their children and grandchildren, they will always have that legacy
And
to
you're preparing. And one of the things I want to interrupt you for a second is I want our viewers to know this. You are actually preparing the next generation of Miltons, your children, and the cousins are also getting prepared. For instance, I know that Diana, your daughter, is getting her law degree at University of Miami, and she already has her engineering degree. Then you have Alec, who's also overseeing United Property Management with you, dealing with everything. And you have Eric with the computer technology. So you are really STEM, and hold the STEM, issue there, because I know we're going to talk about it later. But you are preparing your children and future generations to take over your business.
Yeah,
And then right now, I want to
absolutely.
publicly ask God to give you 120 years, you and your family, full of health, because we love you and we cannot be without you and your family.
Thank you,
Amen.
Rachel, and you know them all. So it's been an incredible journey. And what we did in this last family meeting is we decided that we were going to honor my mother-in-law, and I had each of them do a video and just really quick, less than a minute, and explain some memory they had with her that was really inspiring. And we put all these together. We edited the video. It was just maybe it was 10 minutes long. We sat in our, the theater with a big screen TV. We put it on. I haven't seen that woman have a grin from side to, she couldn't smile any bigger the
That's
whole time.
priceless.
And it
That
was
is priceless.
dedicated to her. The kids were all looking right at her, and saying the beautiful messages that they were saying. So we felt very proud that day, and I never let them forget that. We can't forget the women in our lives, because the women of yesterday was a very kind of submissive, very quiet, but don't ever underestimate the power and that she had over the family and her strength to be able to push forward and push her man, right,
I
to
love it.
be the best they can.
Powerful women.
Absolutely,
Well,
absolutely.
let's turn now to some of the major initiatives that you and your family have embarked on to improve the quality of life for all of us. And let's begin with Jackson Health Foundation, with your relationship, and also your relationship with Jackson Health System, and of course, the grand opening of the José Milton Memorial Hospital at Jackson West. The floor is yours.
Well, Jackson is very dear to my family. It was the first gift that we ever made from the foundation, and the biggest gift they had received to that point, which was $10 million. And for that gift, they named the new hospital the José Milton Memorial Hospital. Now, I am so proud of that hospital right now. The way that they treat patients, they don't just treat your ailment; they treat the whole patient. It's amazing. They have a pediatric emergency room, which not very many hospitals do. And then they have the regular emergency room. They are amazing. It's a beautiful place. You almost feel like you're in a hotel or in this great place with art surrounding you. When you walk in, you have it's just a beautiful place. They have the best
You have a lot of
technology.
artwork from what I understand. I was reading, there's a lot of artwork, beautiful
Yes.
artwork. You're by the water. I mean, you have cutting edge medical equipment and doctors from University of Miami, the graduates from there. So it's academically inclined. And honestly, I'm sure that our viewers will agree. And of course, Facebook goes international. It is one of the best hospitals throughout our world. And for me to know that you have invested with your family under the José Milton Foundation $10 million so that we can have a cutting edge, up to date academic, with equipment and everything. Anna, there's no words in the dictionary that can truly depict the gratitude that all our viewers have for you and your family. Thank you, Anna.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it, and it warms my heart to be able to do this, because I really do think it's a change maker in our community, and it's really made all the other hospitals step up. So with regards to Jackson, so Jackson Health System has really come a long way, and it is really my go-to. It's amazing. I lead the Jackson Health Foundation, so I lead I'm chair of the board, and it's just wonderful to see all the community, especially after COVID and after everything Jackson did to vaccinate folks, their survival rates, the way they would care for patients,
Amazing.
all that.
Charmaine Gatlin, let's give her a big shout out. Charmaine, we
Yes,
love
yes.
you. And also
Charmaine and
Flavia.
Flavia are powerhouse women, leading the foundation. And, we just had our gala, our most successful gala in the history of Jackson. We raised $4.5 million
Wow.
for programs and for capital projects in Jackson.
Congratulations, because you and your husband were the chairs. So congratulations again to your leadership. And of course, Charmaine and Flavia and Carlos Migoya, the president and CEO of Jackson Health System. So that's amazing.
And let's not forget, the CEO of Jackson, the José Milton Memorial Hospital, Eddie Borrego, is fantastic. He's in his 30s, and he brings all that youthful energy and the I can do anything attitude, and it really has paid off in the hospital. It's just fantastic.
Beautiful.
So anyone out there who has an issue, that's where you want to go.
You got it for sure. Anna VeigaMilton, thank you so much for that beautiful hospital in Doral. Let's talk about Miami-Dade County Police Department. You have an excellent relationship with the leadership of Miami-Dade County Police Department, Ramirez, who's very dear to our heart. Tell us what you've done for them.
Well, the police, when the police were called, for the stop the funding problem, and all these issues came out a year and a half ago, we decided to stand by our police. And Miami-Dade Police, maybe it's because of the history we've had and how much we've learned through that history and already the diversity that's in this area, but we are so proud of our police down here. Yeah. And when we went, we donated masks to them. So they didn't have uniform masks. So we donated masks to them during COVID. It was June of 2020. And we made a donation to the Police Officer Assistance Trust. And we saw that in their headquarters in Doral, their lounges where they go relax, where they go have lunch, where they go for meetings, where they go for some trainings, were dilapidated. The Formica
That's not good.
The Formica was curling in their little kitchenette. The walls were ugly. The seating
was unattractive, very unattractive,
completely, and really not conducive to the support that we had in our community. Like, we should not allow that to happen. And It's also a place where victims would go, for questioning or sometimes just to relax if they had a kid. I mean, this is a horrible, stark, very 1990s kind of place that just never changed. Wow. So what we did is we went in there with our company, United Property Management. We got a hold of all our partners, and we redid the 3 lounges. So first floor, second floor, third floor. We redid everything from the floor to the paint job, to restructuring it, to the blinds that were used.
I heard you got some TVs and some domino tables.
Yes, we put domino tables in there. We have beautiful furniture. We have greenery. We have a big screen TV in every floor. Well, now they are over the moon. They use that space now for practices, for simulations. They use it for training.
Director Ramirez deserves the world. You remember when we had the powerhouse? He would always come to the powerhouse events with all the kids, educating our kids.
No, our police is top. Our police are the best. And after that, other than that, we've helped them with we did a Veterans Day event Did you know that many police also serve in the military?
No, I didn't know that.
It's wonderful. They serve on two fronts. So a lot of
Okay.
them take time off from working as a police, local police, and they go do their military service. And a lot of them,
Beautiful.
after they finish their military service, end up in the
Beautiful.
police department. So we celebrated Veterans Day together, and
Uh-huh.
and there was a car that was donated that will be one of the cars that drives around, a police car, but it has all the branches, the five branches of the military, because now we have
That's
a new branch,
gorgeous.
which is the space.
Yeah,
So
that's
it is.
beautiful. But I want to commend you, Anna, again, because I just found out recently, and I know you've had it for a while, that you have another foundation called Cecil and Anna Milton Foundation, which is a family foundation, and you dedicate yourself to the military, to the veterans, to conservation. So tell
You
us
are
about
correct. So we just started this foundation a few years ago. And then my daughter is the president of it. And then Cecil and I are the co-founders and the trustees. And Cecil wanted to make sure that we didn't cannibalize any of the areas of support that the José Milton Foundation does, which is research, education, and access to quality healthcare. Well, we decided to go another route, and we focus on conservation and environmental causes, but then we also focus on military and first responders. So
great.
be it police, fire, even nurses, anyone who's a first responder,
Love
and
it.
and then of course, conservation and the military and folks who were veterans.
I'm
So
sure that
we,
our viewers are very happy that you're doing this for them,
yeah.
because it takes a philanthropist with such a big heart, like you and your husband Cecil and your kids, Diana and Alec and Eric, and it takes all of you to make this happen for us. And I got to be honest with you, before you came around, we didn't really have a philanthropist like you in South Florida.
Well,
So you,
I'm very proud that one of my missions is to really inspire others to give.
and you do.
And I think I do. I mean, people come up to me and say, that I'm doing this because you did this. And that really warms me, because this is not a project for one family. This is a community thing. And what's great about philanthropy is it gives you a platform to meet people that you would have never ordinarily met. Well,
Exactly.
look at what you did, Rachel, with the powerhouse. How many of us did you bring together that maybe we would
Thousands.
never run into each other ever?
Definitely, definitely.
It's such a great platform to meet people, connect, and it's a platform for solving world problems, and for
Absolutely.
elevating Miami. It's very important that we elevate Miami, because, that they say a rising tide lifts all ships, right? So we want to elevate Miami, every aspect of Miami, and we don't want to leave anyone behind. So that's what
Absolutely. And we're going
philanthropy
to
is.
continue to do this with you. We're going to join forces with other collaborations that I want to talk to you in another time. And yes, we're going to continue to effectuate positive change
That's
so
right.
that today and tomorrow, our future generations can really make it in this world and do something positive so that we can have long, healthy lives. Let's talk a little bit about the Girl Scout STEM series that are very dear to your heart and your involvement. Go ahead.
So, I was a Girl Scout. I was a Brownie and a Girl Scout. And so was my sister when we were in elementary school. One of the great strengths of Girl Scouting for a little immigrant girl, right, who spoke mainly Spanish at home, and then learned English through Sesame Street and was in school. So Girl Scouts, and I didn't come to realize this till not too long ago, Girl Scouts really was a way that I became Americanized. And my mom loved it, because I had an American troop leader, and I would ask her all these questions, and I would bring home what I learned. And that's how
Beautiful.
we really got into celebrating, the American holidays and understanding them, how we learned about, cultural differences
A
and
sense of
embracing.
belonging, and being
Yes,
together,
yes,
collaborating, and
yes.
inclusion.
And include all that before those words were popular, right? Was happening through Girl Scouts. And then the badges were great. I think I learned to become self-sufficient and become great at balancing what I do and organizing myself through Girl Scouts. We had this Girl Scout manual, and every couple of pages you had a badge and all the requirements for the badge. And I would pace myself. And at the end, I had mostly every badge. I think I actually had all the badges except for camping, because, a Cuban mother would not let her daughter go camping nor sleep at anyone's house.
I can
So,
relate to that.
yeah, but at the end, they actually gave me the camp badge because I ended up doing everything they did except for sleeping overnight someplace. Because we would do mock, we did the fires, we did the roast, the cooking on top of a fire, the building of fire,
It's so
the
much fun,
protection of
right?
fire.
You
It's
had a
awesome.
lot of
So
fun.
now the Girl Scouts of South Florida, of tropical Florida, which is our troop here in Miami-Dade County, including the Keys, they are amazing. Chelsea Wilkerson runs the program, and she is fabulous. She started a few years ago, and she has really elevated Girl Scouts. And a big portion, more than half of the girls, you pay dues to become a Girl Scout, but more than half of the girls are sponsored, which means philanthropists and donors pay for them because they don't have the money to do it. So we're very inclusive. It's a very inclusive organization. And I decided, now they have STEM badges, entrepreneurship badges. They have badges I would have loved, back in the day. And all these badges, a lot of them are around STEM. So I got my two foundations together, the José Milton Foundation and the Cecil and Anna Milton Foundation, because there is a conservation component. And I gave them a year of STEM funding. So we did a year of STEM for all the Girl Scouts. They did amazing things. They learned about aeronautical engineering and about what it is to be a pilot and a woman in the aerospace industry through American Airlines. They learned about trees, planting trees, and how trees and green, and everything green is important in our community. They learned all kinds of things.
Knowledge. It's like going to a university, really.
Right? Yeah, it exposes girls to a lot of leadership, women in leadership, and it exposes them to careers that they could do. So one other thing I do with Girl Scouts is I give an award every year, a scholarship. And last year I give it to Joanna Mijares, who's an amazing, she did a project for Girl Scouts where she worked at Bascom Palmer as just interned. And she realized that everyone that was coming in with ailments of the eye, including eye cancer, most of them were due to exposure from sunlight. Just like skin cancer, eyes also are very affected by UV rays. So she went into a project where she went into a public park and she handed out sunglasses to everyone who didn't wear one. And she explained to them how important it is to wear sunglasses.
Because especially here in the Sunshine State, right? We need it.
Exactly.
That's an excellent project.
I learned a lot from her. And, I tell everyone, I tell my kids all the time, everyone, if you're running, if you're outdoors, put on your sunglasses. Not only do you look great in them, right? It's an accessory, but they really protect your eyes from getting diseases when you're, older.
Well, you have just encouraged me, and I'm sure many of our viewers today, you are encouraging them to also wear the sunglasses because normally sometimes you're in a rush, you don't take them with you. But now that you're saying all of this, and I'm sure our viewers will agree, my friends, put on those sunglasses.
No, keep an old pair in your car. So if you forget them, at least you can wear them while you're driving or just, stepping out and going, to run errands or getting to the office. Just
definitely
wear them.
We will do it.
Yeah.
I want to also move on. There's so much to talk about, and I'm trying to fit everything in a half hour. But I want to see if we can also talk about one of your favorite organizations, the 5,000 Role Models with Senator Federico Wilson, and your STEM scholarships. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so that's another scholarship I give is this Advancing Minorities in STEM scholarship. So the Girl Scout one is called Advancing Women in STEM. So this is Advancing Minorities in STEM.
All these names.
So it's all about STEM for me. And every year I give it's worth $20,000 to one of the graduates of the 5,000 Role Models program. And our graduates have been amazing thus far. I have one young man who actually got a master's in 4.5 years, and now he's working for Microsoft. I have another young man, our first, who's working for the Department of Transportation. He's an IT guy. So I have one that's.
And how do you feel? I mean, let's face it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
How do you feel and your family? Talk to us.
It's fantastic. And one of the things I do is I take the cousins and my kids, the third generation, and we have a lunch in August with all our STEM scholarship recipients. And it's fantastic because they mentor each other. We mentor them. We're like cheerleaders for each other, and it's really a nice community. And we communicate often, through text, and we talk about who's doing what and if they have any issues.
What I'm hearing you say, Anna, is not only do you donate the money for them to study, 4 years, 20,000, but you also want to get engaged with them. You collaborate with them. Why is engagement so important to you instead of just giving the money?
You know what? When you give the money, it's kind of cold, right? You give them the money, they understand that somebody's sponsoring them or giving them a scholarship, but that's it. But when you have engagement with them, they will not let you down. I have one of the young men, the one who's in Microsoft, he said to me, he said, I am feel so much pressure to succeed, and no one has ever invested, or so much in me than you all. Because
Beautiful.
I know that when you ask me how I'm doing, I I have to succeed.
Wow.
There's no losing,
Do you
right?
know how many parents adore you, Anna?
Ugh.
I mean, to be this mentor, not only a financial mentor, but a spiritual mentor, an educational mentor, all kinds of mentors. You and your family, your kids are young, they're all professional. I mean, I'm sure that our viewers understand why I love you so much. Because
Mentorship is very, very important, because
amazing, amazing.
without having a cheerleader, without having someone that has your back, right? And that's telling you you can do this, and just expecting you to succeed, right? There are
Absolutely,
people
absolutely.
expecting you to
And I want
succeed.
to just share this story and you can elaborate on it. I just want to start it off because I want our viewers to know what kind of heart you have. I mean, I'm sure they have a great idea right now and everything we spoke about so far. But one of the students that you gave a scholarship, you gave him 20,000, you're still collaborating and everything, but he finished his 4 years in 3 years and he asked you, can I take the extra 5,000 to my master's program? And what did you answer him?
I said, of course. Yeah, I would never penalize them for being extra successful. So yeah, he's the one at Microsoft,
Tremendous
and he
influence.
he really came out of his shell. I mean,
God
he
bless you.
is amazing.
Thank you for your
So I mean,
leadership and
what a gift,
congratulations
right?
to him.
And then I know I'm guaranteed that he and all his children and grandchildren are going to make it, because
Absolutely.
once you start that ball going, it just keeps going. You
But
know,
you realize you realize that you are the angel behind all these kids that are getting an education in STEM, and you are really giving them an amazing career because we all know that that science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM, start off with very high paying salaries.
that's right.
So I mean, you are just planting these seeds. God bless you immensely. Let's move over to University of Miami, your Ever Brighter campaign. Tell us about that.
So the University of Miami, it's really one of my favorite organizations, in Miami, because its path. If you look at its trajectory, it was founded. It's going to be 100 years old in 2025.
I
It
didn't know
was
that.
founded at the same time as the city of Coral Gables by Merrick, who founded both. And he said that every big city, every important city needs an important university. So that's how kind of South Florida got started. And the how has risen is kind of the way as Miami has risen. It's like a parallel rising,
Yes.
and it's just so wonderful. I mean, we have FIU, we have MDC. South Florida is really a mecca for higher education, and
Yes.
it's wonderful. FNU, FIU, FMU. I mean, we are really not lacking in that department. But the University of
Absolutely.
Miami holds a special place. I have 2 degrees from there. Another, again, as a Cuban girl, my mom was devastated at the idea of me going out, going away to school.
Of
So having
course.
the University of Miami here was amazing. And I got a full scholarship. And I always thought that I would pay it forward. It was the only reason I could attend, back then. So University of Miami. So I am a trustee of UM, and I'm very proud to be one. And our last initiative, which I don't even know if I've told you about. So our foundation funded the first University of Miami College of Engineering Digital Tech Initiative.
Wow.
And
That's
what that
amazing.
does is that's in response to the Miami tech movement. So in order to keep attracting these tech companies that have high paying positions, it's important that we have, a place where students become workers with the skill
Absolutely.
set needed by these companies, because we want to keep attracting them. So
Exactly.
it's huge, where we have an accelerated bachelor of science in computer science in software engineering. So
Excellent.
this advanced engineering degree can be done in 1 year. So you can come with any bachelor's, even an English degree, a history degree, whatever
Very
degree
good.
you got, and come, and in 1 year they will make you an engineer.
Oh my
So
God.
that
That's
is
remarkable.
amazing.
University of Miami, everybody.
Yes,
Look them
and then
up.
they have certificate programs. So if you don't want to spend a lot of time, maybe you can just take a 2 months or a long week
Exactly.
and get a
Exactly.
certificate in some skill that you might be missing, or that might be you know, maybe a way for you to move up or get
Exactly.
another
So anybody
license.
that's listening to you that does not live in Florida, maybe you need to move down and study University of Miami for sure. How has philanthropy helped keep your family connected, Anna?
Well, as I said, we hold annual meetings and we talk about this all the time. We have brunch together every Sunday, the whole family. And our topics of conversation are the family business, what we're all doing, and of course, our philanthropy and how to keep the legacy going to the next generations. So I'm
Beautiful.
proud to say that, all the cousins are very, very close. They remember they were very
That's
privileged
because
to
you've
have
also
their
inculcated from the leadership, which is you and Cecil, your husband and you, to have that closeness.
No, yeah,
So,
absolutely. And I have a lot of support from Cecil's two brothers, Joe and Frank, and the three of them who are the trustees of the foundation are very
beautiful.
amazing and very committed to having their children stay connected and be
Absolutely.
connected. And, with family is the beginning of everything, right? With
Absolutely.
family, and then you have community, which I consider to be my extended family. And
Yes.
when you take all that
But
into
you just don't say it. Your actions speak for themselves. And I want to thank you so much for that. Unfortunately, Anna, we're running out of time. Thank you for working so hard to improving our quality of life. Is there a last minute message, my love, that you would like to leave all our viewers with tonight?
Well, what I always say is, the expression of gratitude is really the most beautiful thing. And the way to best express gratitude is by helping someone, acts of kindness. And not everyone needs to be, a high level philanthropist. Being a volunteer, getting involved with United Way, getting involved with the 5,000 role models, being a mentor to your neighbors' kids. It's just a beautiful way of making sure that our community moves forward, and really, let's not leave anyone behind.
We won't. And we want to thank you so much. You are beyond fabulous. Thank you so much for loving our multicultural communities. Your actions speak for themselves. You are beyond fabulous. We love you. We respect you and we admire you. I look forward to getting together with you soon and having some fun. How's that?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And to
Always
all our
wonderful to be
viewers,
here.
thank you. And to all of you, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to sign up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, On Point Racial Turgoman. Keeping informed and staying connected allows all of us to make the right decisions. You've been hearing Anna VeigaMilton. She's amazing. She's the best philanthropist here in South Florida. We love her. Go ahead and get involved. God bless you now. Bye bye for now. No, you're good.